Well, in anticipation of the sequel dropping, I thought I would go all the way back to 1996. That's right, people. We are looking at Happy Gilmore. This was directed by Dennis Dugan, written by Tim Herlihy and Adam Sandler. Yeah, off the back of Billy Madison that they'd worked on the year before, I believe. The film is produced by Robert Simmons, executive produced by Sandy Wernick, Brad Gray, and Bernie Brillstein. It is co-produced by Warren Carr and Jack Garaputo. Mark Mothersbaugh took care of the music. Arthur Albert is on cinematography. Steve R. Moore and Jeff Gerson edit the piece, with Joanna Colbert taking care of all the casting, right? Production design, we have William Heslop and Perry Anderlin Blake. Richard Harrison is art direction. Set decoration is Mark Lane, with Tish Monahan on costumes. Right, hair and makeup, we've got Patricia Murray, Jill Winston, Faye Von Schroeder, Roberts Taylor, Doug Morrow, and Angie Bemben. Who else do we have? Alright, let's get to our cast. Okay, so we have got Adam Sandler as Happy Gilmore. Right, his grandmother is played by Frances Bay. Virginia Vennett is played by Julie Bowen. Scooter McGavin is played by Christopher McDonald. We have got Chubbs, played by Carl Weathers, the great late Carl Weathers. Right, Alan Covert is Otto, the caddy. Right, the IRS agent we see at the start is played by Robert Smigel. Bob Barker plays himself, Bob Barker. Mr. Larson, right, played by the late Richard Keel. You know, Doug Thompson was played by the director, Dennis Dugan. The fan, right, the unruly fan who we see later on in the film is played by Joe Flattery. Lee Trevino plays himself. Kevin Nealon is Potter. One of the announcers is played by Vern Lundquist. Jared Van Smellenberg plays the caddy at Waterbury. Coach is played by Ken Carmu Taylor. Rich Elwood is the assistant coach. I think that's it with the ice hockey, right? Terry is played by Nancy Hillis. The older lady at the start. Just Terry's his girlfriend, and then we see that old lady. She was played by Helena Yee. The movers were played by a young Will Sasso and DJ Jackson. We have Ellie Harv as the registrar. That's probably our main lot of people, I would say, in the film. Daniel Lafferty was played by John Shaw. The Auctioneer was played by Ted Deacon. Zamboni Driver was played by John Destry. Yeah, that was the main lot. A younger version of Happy was played by Donnie McMillan. And Happy's dad was played by Lewis O'Donoghue. Right, his mum was played by Leanne Collette. Yeah, okay. So the gist of the film, a hockey player wannabe finds out that he has the most powerful golf drive in history. He joins the P.G.A tour to make some money to save Grandma's house. The downside is that his hockey player mentality doesn't really go on the P.G.A tour, especially with the favourite to win the championship. Man, Happy Gilmore, right? Came out in 1996. It's nearly 30 years old. And I think sometimes you go back, right, and you look at films and they don't hold up. Like the jokes are just, nothing really works. And that's always a worry. But, people, Happy Gilmore still holds up. Man, right, I remember really digging it. You know, Billy Madison was great. Happy Gilmore. I don't think I saw it in the cinema. I think I saw it on video. Right? I think. I can't, it's hard to remember, you know. But, yeah, no, I enjoyed it back then. But your tastes change, man. Your tastes really do change. There are some things I found funny as a kid and I've watched and I'm just like, I don't even know what I was thinking. Right? But this isn't it. Right? Just from the beginning, you're just, you know, laughing. And I think one thing that, I don't know if I picked up as a kid or if I thought about it, but there is a lot of heart here. Right? Because it's, you know, his dad, even though he is a terrible skater, right? His dad still would like take him out to hockey games and train him and just all of that. So it's just, you know what I mean? Your parents trying to help you keep those dreams alive, right? So we see this, and then the grandma after his dad dies, you know? His grandma is there for him and just doing all the things to make him smile and keep him happy, right? It's just all of these things that are just like, oh man, like I forgot there was this much heart in the film, you feel me? So that's just, you know, really nice. Like when Virginia makes the shot, right? And she's just like, I didn't see it go in, Happy. Like there's that. But then when the camera pans out and pulls back, and we just have the Zamboni Driver singing along to the song, which is just hilarious. Just hilarious, you know. Just all of these little moments help make this film. Man, like I'd forgotten the beginning of it, right? So when he's talking to his girlfriend on over the intercom, and then he opens the door and you've got the old Chinese lady standing there. Right, I'd forgotten all of that. But then when we cut to the next morning, oh my God. I was just, oh man, I was in stitches. I was in stitches, people. Man, it was just hilarious, right? And I think you're getting those things right? Like the interaction with Bob Barker. Because you could have played it the other way, but it's even funnier doing it how they did it. You know what I mean? So it's just all about those little touches, bringing the window cleaner dude, back into it, right? The interaction with his old boss, Mr. Larson, right? Just all of those kind of things. And then Chubbs his hand. Which supposedly is a callback to Predator, which you're just like, genius, right? And then it's, bumping into the alligator again. Just what I'm doing. Oh man, just diving into that water, just like, it's so silly. It is stupid, right? Just some of these jokes are so silly. Like at the care home with Ben Stiller's character. Oh no, you know what I mean? Like back then you were just laughing. But now, right, everything we've heard about care homes, you're like, yo, shit, that's probably happening at some, you know what I mean? Like, damn, But yeah, no, it just works. All of these moments, the auction, the movers, right? Just him bringing that hockey mentality to golf. And how that would unsettle the Puritans, It's just, when we've looked at other sports, right, with tennis, and you have I forget who it was, but I remember in women's tennis, there was a girl that made a lot of noise with hitting the balls, and they're just like, oh my God, this is unheard of. Why is she making this noise? And you're just like, why are you moaning about this, you fucking idiots? Or the crazy when the beach volleyball players wanted to wear shorts and they try to kick them. So you see, when anything kind of throws things off us, kilter slightly, a slight alteration with the makeup of something. How you have these foolish people making so much noise about it, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, you understand what is going on with this, and especially with Shooter, because we have that bit where he's talking with all the other pros, and they're in their yellow jackets, and he ain't got one. So you can see why this means so much to him, and he thinks, this is my year, right? How can you... Oh. And also with the, it's all down to ratings, right? Like, you could kick him out, but hey, now you're getting all of these ratings. So, the script is really nuanced when you think about it, right? It's nuanced, it's funny, the performances are gold, right? Sandler is just hilarious, but then... Richard Keel as Mr. Larson is so funny. Bob Baker, just these little bit, is great, right? Carl Withers, obviously. Frances Bay as Grandma was just, how good was that, right? We know Julie Bowen, just everyone nailed what they needed to do. Right? Everyone nailed what they needed to do. So people, if you worried and thought, is Happy Gilmore still good? I can assure you it is indeed. The real question is, what's a sequel gonna be like? Right? Because I didn't even think of what happens next? Where do they go from here? You know what I mean? There was never those questions. Once it finished, it was just like, yeah, that's great. Love the ending. When he looks up at the sky. Why the fuck is there an alligator there? Right? Why is there an alligator there? It's so silly. But it was just nice. It was a good ending, you know? So it's just like, but we're getting one. You know what I mean? We're getting one. So hopefully, my fingers are crossed, people. Now, I don't think this is gonna be like, Coming to America 2, or Beverly Hills Cop 4, Axel F, right? I don't think we're gonna be that because, Sandler, he's still putting out great films. You know what I mean? We've still been getting really good films from Sandler, right? You just think of Hubie Halloween, which I thought was hilarious, right? You had Hubie Halloween, and then, you just think of like the more serious roles he's done, right? Like, Uncut, oh man, my mind just went completely blank. Right, we got Uncut Gems, right? But then we got, I really enjoyed Spaceman. I thought the basketball one he did recently was good. What was that one called again? That was Hustle. Yes, I enjoyed Hustle, right? Yeah, I mean, like, all of these things worked, You Were So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah was great, And he, in some of these, he stars. In some of these, he's a supporting character. But it works still. You know what I mean? He's producing, right? He's writing some things. So I think Sandler has always been active. Always been active. So it's just like, Leo. Really, I enjoyed the heck out of Leo. So it's just like, yeah, I think that Happy Gilmore 2 has a better chance of succeeding than some of these other, retreads that we've had. So fingers crossed, but hey, Happy Gilmore still gold.